Hi guys, welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to be walking you through my process of modeling a low poly hatsune miku in Blender. To start off, I made a sketch in Clip Studio Paint and put it in as an overlay so that I could start getting the proportions correct for the head. Before we get too far into this process, I just want to let you guys know that I am a beginner in Blender and this is pretty much my first project without any tutorials. So be patient with me because I struggle a lot. So now I'm starting in on the bangs of the hair, and I do that by selecting a bunch of the faces from the head shape and duplicating them and then shaping them and adding a solidify modifier. And then I go to add a cylinder for the pigtails and I add a mirror modifier so that I don't have to do two of them. I wanted the hair to have a very cartoonish style, so I didn't add much detail to the actual mesh, but I'm going to add detail later on in the texture painting area. So now you'll see me go in with another cylinder for the body, and I will cut out a hole in the side of the body and use a loop tool to make it a circle so that I can start building the arms. Now the arms were very challenging for me. I spent a lot of time on them. You can't really tell because I sped it up a lot, but I just kept, it was trial and error, I guess. Now I'm working on the legs, and I actually learned this technique from someone on YouTube. I can't remember the name off the top of my head, but I'll link it in the description. It's very useful for modeling characters with just simpler body types when you're doing kind of like more cartoonish characters or just low poly models in general. Basically what I do is I just create one leg and mirror it and then apply the mirror modifier and then connect them by extruding singular vertices. Here I'm merging the bottom of the waist with the hips, and I do that by just selecting each vertice and merging by the distance of the two vertices. I then insect the top of the torso just to make a neck, and I'll begin to start on the clothing. Instead of adding a completely new object for each piece of clothing, I'm just selecting faces from the actual body and duplicating them to make them their own object, and just going off of the small amount of mesh I have there and expanding it, adding loop cuts and stuff like that. I'm still trying to figure out, I guess, how to make clothes without doing this method, because when I do the tie in this, it is very flat to the body, and although I'm fine with that for this model, I would like to know how to do it with if I want to do higher poly models that are more detailed and stuff and more realistic. I want to know how to actually put clothing on the body. I don't know. I have a lot of learning to do with this program. So now I'm working on the pleats of the skirt and adding in the boots, as well as I almost forgot to add the little square hair bands that are in Miku's hair, and I actually end up forgetting to color them later, and so the final piece does not have color in the little hair bands. But I was just so done with working on this, so I didn't want to go back and re-render everything. But I don't think it's that noticeable, so whatever. For the little hair clips, I first made a plane and then extruded it upwards and hollowed it out. And I also moved the pigtails back a little bit because they were getting messed up because it was touching the arms, but yeah. So now I'm starting the process of marking all my seams so that I can unwrap the UV correctly, and I'm definitely not really sure what I'm doing here. I'm just marking all the places that I know there's going to be a difference in color or a difference in lighting, so yeah, I don't know. I still have, like I said, a lot of learning to do. Now that I'm getting ready to texture paint, I'm going to split my window into 3 different windows. One of the windows is to view my progress from afar, the other one is the actual UV editing, and the biggest window is going to be where I'm going to be doing the actual texture painting. And I like to do my texture painting actually in Blender. I know some people do it in another program and then just import it into Blender. But I don't know, I haven't learned how to do that yet, so I'm kind of just sticking with Blender for the meantime. So I don't have too much to say about my actual texture painting process. I use my drawing tablet so that I can draw directly onto the figure, and I find it's actually not very difficult at all as someone who's never used a 3D program before in my life. But in the future I probably should import a palette before, so I don't have to just make up the colors on the spot, because that was something that I got stuck on a lot and it would just be better planning to do that. But you know, I'm learning a lot from this project, so that's good. So now that I'm done with the texture painting process, I'm going to create a plane so that I can set up a camera movement and that the background will be a constant color. And I also am going to set up 2 other light sources, because I like to have different colored lights coming from different directions. I think it makes it look more interesting. And then you'll see me just add in a little bit of animation. That's the animation you saw at the beginning of the video. And then I'm pretty much done. Well, if you made it this far, thank you guys so much for watching, and let me know if you enjoyed this video in the comments. Any of you guys' support is really appreciated. Thank you so much.